Have you ever had the difficulty receiving love, allowing others to love you, to take care of you, to nurture you? If you have, do you want to know why? Because there is at least one or multiple stories in your mind. Story like, I'm alone, people don't get me, people don't really care about me, it's not safe to be me or open up to others, I'm not worthy, and so on. All of these stories or mental narratives or thought streams, call them however you want, they come from a very disempowering place. They come from a wound or multiple wounds. Other word for that is traumas. They come from hurt inner child. They come from victim consciousness. Why victim? Because we, in these stories, we identify ourselves as someone who has delegated our own power outside of us to someone else, to external source. And we have given away our own responsibility for our empowerment to something else outside of us. And as a result, we have pushed away love, we have pushed away opportunities, allowing others to express love to us. We have pushed away also opportunities to express love towards ourselves and to others. And we have desperately tried to prevent this type of thing from happening again. We have tried to avoid our painful past. We have tried to run away from it, not repeating it. And yet, the paradox is that we are still stuck in this painful past, because instead of focusing on what we do want, we are focusing on what we don't want. And that also creates a manifestation, because what we focus on expands. Whatever disempowering story that we have, that we are holding on in our mind, it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy or a vicious cycle, because our ego wants to be right, especially in the case how disempowered and big victims we are. And so from such thinking emerges behavior that is in alignment with it. And our behavior that stems from our disempowering thinking, with its consequences and results, it serves as a reflection to our thinking. And also this behavior serves as a proof to reinforce our thinking, as a confirmation, as a proof, to convince self, see, I told you, this is happening, even though the happening came out from the thinking, and thinking was before that. So it's a vicious cycle. Like, it reinforces itself again, again, again. And once we become aware that our disempowering thinking generates or disempowering behavior, which leads to very negative results, then we have opportunity to end this vicious cycle. And in that moment, unconscious becomes conscious. This is the moment when we have a choice to exercise our free will. Remain the same, which means to have the same results, or to change, to adopt a new pattern of thinking and behavior. And during the process of developing our awareness, it is also very important to hold space for these limiting and disempowering stories that we have as a loving parent. Not pushing them away, acknowledging their presence and allowing them to be, and to see if there are some memories or perhaps feelings coming up associated with these stories, and allow them to come up as well. Experience them, witness them, without any judgment. In this way, we release the resistance that held these negative stories for us. And once these stories have been highlighted, and we have found out and become aware how these stories have impacted us, the way how we show up in the world, typically as closed off individuals, blocking out love, then again we have opportunity to exercise our free will, to choose if we are ready to embody and adopt a new pattern. Then we can ask ourselves, okay, what would it look like the opposite of these old limiting stories? What the reality would be? How would we show up in the world differently if these old self-limiting stories would be non-existent in our reality? What permission slip would we give ourselves to show up differently? And how? How about embracing life from a pure potential? Showing up in the world of holding a beautiful and inspirational vision of future. A different intention, a different energy that would shift the way how we are, the way how we feel and act, that would change our frequency. We would vibrate at a different frequency, a higher frequency, and that would allow us to attract more loving people, more loving situations, more loving circumstances. The paradox is that when we are hurt, we have this typical trauma response or survival patterns of flight, freeze or fight, wearing armor, avoiding life, not engaging in it enough. But in this way, we only prolong, we delay, we procrastinate, we avoid our healing. Healing can only happen when we start to open up, when we are vulnerable. The more we learn how to accept all parts of us unconditionally, without any exceptions, the more we will develop ability to allow ourselves to love ourselves. And this will give us also ability to love others more, to have more compassion for others, more acceptance for others. And in return, it will also give us capacity to allow receiving more love from others as well. So in this way, we're going to stop cutting ourselves off from the eternal, abundant flow of love that surrounds us constantly. So this is our job, to learn how to love ourselves. And from that, the love will emanate more and more from our field. And we will be loving force, a loving presence wherever we are. Thank you, dear soul, for watching this and listening, for tuning in. I send you lots of love, blessings, peace.